Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. I asked you guys to submit your collecting questions that you just wanted a second friendly opinion on, and I'm more than happy to give it. You guys submitted like over 400 questions, and I don't think we can answer 400, but I'm gonna definitely try to go through as many of these as I can, and maybe I'll give you guys some ideas on what other people are currently collecting right now. So let's get started. First up, we got ourselves Frozen Limits, who says, hey Jake, having a bit of a hard time deciding if I should get into purchasing alt art sets from Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, and other modern sets. Do you expect the prices to still bottom out or start climbing? Yeah, I saw a lot of questions on the alt arts from all of these different sets. They are really cool. They're by far the current most popular cards to collect. Prices have definitely bottomed out quite a bit. I don't expect prices on alt arts to really drop dramatically anytime in the near future. They're always popular, and these sets just aren't being printed to the quantity that they used to be. But I don't expect prices to climb anytime in the near future. Don't take my advice and just start swapping all of these up. Prices are gonna stay cheap for quite a while. As cheap as alt arts can truly be. So if you're looking to pick these up, now is probably about as good of a time as any. Prices are not going to climb though, so don't expect to pick up some alt arts and see them double in value next year. It's probably not going to have the same effect as Evolving Skies or something of that nature. Next up, we got ourselves Ducking Llama, who says, hey Jake, I've been interested in Neo Genesis Lugia for a while. Is it worth more to look at raw copies or just to pick up a graded 7 or 8? So I actually did some research for you, Ducking Llama. The average value of a near mint raw Neo Genesis Lugia is right around $200 to $300, and would you guess it, a PSA 7 Neo Genesis Lugia is also right around $200 to $300, maybe $400 if you're getting like a nice PSA 8. So in my personal opinion, since the raw price and the graded price are pretty much identical, they're really interchangeable, I would prefer to just buy a graded copy unless you know the raw copy you're picking up is really high, a really nice quality card, and it's most likely it's not. If someone had a really nice quality Neo Genesis Lugia, they would have graded it themselves. There's no reason why someone who has a mint Lugia would ever sell it on the secondary market. They would grade it themselves. So the copies that are on the open market are copies that are usually like a 5 or 6 cards that people really don't think can get a high grade. So that's why, in my personal opinion, just pick yourself up a nice PSA 7 or 8. You are guaranteed to know that it's a nice quality card, and they are pretty much the exact same price. Next question, we got ourselves the Pokeboy, who says, hey Jake, one of my Pokemon goals is to collect all graded alt arts from Evolving Skies. Another alt art question, should I wait for the next Evolving Skies restock or buy now and chip away at the collecting goal? So this is a great question, and it's a little bit up to you, but I think you're trying to go for some serious value here. And if you want a good deal on these Evolving Skies graded alt art cards, I would definitely wait. There's a ton of people submitting Evolving Skies right now for grading, and those cards have not come back yet. I have plenty of Evolving Skies alt art. Not as many as I would like, but I have a solid chunk, and I haven't started grading them yet because grading fees are still really expensive. The cheapest grade for PSA right now is $50 per card, and that's still too expensive for me to be submitting some of these cards. So I'm gonna wait for grading prices to go even cheaper. And hopefully that comes in the near future. Evolving Skies is a very new set. Usually I would give about a 2-year leeway for me to start picking up graded Pokemon cards, because that's pretty much how long it takes for most of the raw copies to fully saturate through into the graded market. It's gonna take 2 years for all of these raw Evolving Skies cards to become graded, so the market is going to continue to dip for graded Evolving Skies cards over the next 2 years. So unless you're really looking and you're desperate to have these cards inside your collection, waiting will definitely make the prices a little bit more affordable. Next question, we got Muffin Goblin who says, hey Jake, recently my wife and I have been collecting cards again, and she really has fallen in love with the gold cards, or more specifically, item gold cards, and she wants to collect them all, but I don't think they are worth it. I'm assuming that's where it cuts off. What do I think of gold item cards? I think they are a cool collection, but you're partially right. A lot of the gold item cards are very niche. Most people don't really care about them. They're not super memorable. If you look at something like the original base set, right? We had item cards even back in those days, and they're pretty much considered duds. Most people don't really collect even vintage item cards. However, when it comes to gold item cards, there are certain ones that are really well sought after, outside of a couple of trophy ones, which we're probably not going to talk about since your wife isn't really collecting those. She's probably collecting some of the more modern gold cards. There are some rare ones that I think are really cool, like the gold Ultra Ball. That's a cool one because everyone knows Ultra Ball. Some of the less iconic ones are, and I mean there's so many un-iconic ones, and there's so many generic ones that aren't even in the game. So it just really depends on who you are as a collector, but I would say just support your wife in whatever she's collecting, because as long as she's happy, and I mean gold item cards are so affordable, you can collect pages of them for pennies on the dollar, so why not, right? It's such an easy collection, and it's nice and it's shiny. So I would go and side with your wife on this one. Next question, we got ourselves Texio who says, hey Jake, the Mario and Luigi Pokemon promos in PSA 10s have been at the top of my list for a while now. Do you think they're worth picking up at the current prices? The PSA 10 versions of the Mario Pikachu cards have definitely dipped a little bit. They haven't dipped a lot, but a lot of Pokemon card prices have actually gone down in the past 6 months. So they are a little bit more affordable now, and I've actually seen some auctions for these cards going for really solid prices. There's not a lot of them on sale all the time, but there's always a couple on sale. So if you're willing to just auction hunt, you might be able to snipe some really good deal. I would say pick them up if they are something that you really like. They look fantastic on display, and they bring me a lot of joy in my own personal collection. Since I do have these cards, I always have them on display, and they always bring a smile to my face. So if you are looking to pick these up, I would say try to snipe some auctions, try to find some good deals. There's always some on sale. They are rare though, because they've been out of print for so long, and they were a very limited run. Next up, we got ourselves Yap Jason who says, hey Jake, I just started collecting Pokemon cards and having a hard time wondering if I should buy a booster box or just some tins and premium collection, because the prices on the booster boxes are expensive. So it sounds like you are a super budget collector. If you are a super budget collector, I would say there's a lot of different approaches that you can take, but let's say you can afford like one booster box every 3 months. I would still prefer picking up a booster box over some random tins, because in general, the booster box just contains so much pack opening value. You know, 36 booster packs inside of a single booster box is a lot of chances to pull something really cool. However, if you are on a super tight budget, like it sounds like you are, I would say go with the singles market. Try to find some really cool, affordable cards that you can just buy a copy of, rather than looking through packs, because looking through packs, you're gonna get a lot of stuff that you probably don't really want. You're probably gonna want a small, tight, small collection, but every single card packs impact. And I think that's probably the right approach, is to go for like a small, contained, but really impactful collection, especially if you're on a tight budget. Next up, we got ourselves Epic Laser 78 who says, hey Jake, I was wondering if it is the right time to pick up Celebrations single. I would say, yeah, I think now is a fine time to pick up Celebration singles. Prices on them have declined significantly. Most of the Celebration subset cards are under $10. In fact, most of them are under $5. There's only a couple of cards that are really expensive, like the Charizard and Umbreon, and Umbreon's like $20 to $30 I think right now. So you can pretty much pick up the whole entire Celebration subset for probably like $100 to $200. And that's mainly going to be in the Charizard in itself. the other cards are really affordable right now. So I think it's a fine time. I don't think Celebration is going to really climb in value anytime soon. The Pokemon Company printed a lot of Celebrations, and it's going to take a while for the market to really just empty out. There's just so much Celebrations products out there. Some of it is even going on fire sale. Outside of the ultra premium collection and like the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box, you can find actually a lot of Celebrations products still at MSRP even today. Next up, we got ourselves Philip, who says, "Hey Jake, I've been debating on which modern Japanese sets to invest in. Have any suggestions for what to pick up?" Yeah, when it comes to modern Japanese sets, I would say focus in on the special holiday set that is released every single year. The most recent one I would say is VMAX Climax. Super cool set, ton of character rares, and potentially some exclusive cards that are only available inside of that set. That would make it even more desirable in the future when it's the only set to collect certain really cool looking cards. Happens all the time. One of my personal favorite sets, Tag Team All-Stars, has a ton of Japanese exclusives in it, and it's done really well. It's not super affordable nowadays. I used to recommend it. I can't recommend it anymore because it's like $200 or $300 for a single booster box. However, VMAX Climax is pretty affordable. You can find it practically at MSRP, like straight from Japan, so I don't see a reason why not to pick it up. The trend has done really well in the future, so I would say that's a solid bet if you're looking to collect something Japanese long term. And I saw a ton of Japanese questions, like so many people were asking about Japanese sets, so I'm really surprised by how much interest is happening right now on the Japanese side, because usually it's all about English. I mean, most people don't really care about Japanese. You can't read the language, so outside of like the exclusive Japanese promos, most people don't collect Japanese cards, but that's changing. Japanese cards are seen almost like ubiquitous nowadays, so it's really cool to see the trend change. Next up, we got ourselves Wolf Queen, who says, "Hey Jake, I recently bought 7 birthday Pikachus from Celebrations. Do you think these could gain value over time if graded?" Same question for Celebrations, Blastoise, Venusaur, which are pretty cheap right now too from what I see, thanks. Yeah, a lot of the Celebrations cards are really, really cheap. They're all really iconic, but there's a ton of them out there. Like, I'm not kidding when I say there are tens of thousands of these cards out there. I'm also really happy that the Celebrations birthday Pikachu is so affordable. I literally want to have 50 to 100 of this card inside of my collection, just around. They're super useful for birthdays. Like whenever I have a Pokemon collecting or Pokemon related friend who's really into the hobby, I'll just give them a birthday Pikachu for their birthday, and it's a nice little gift. They're great for nieces and nephews, which I actually have a couple of now. Great for their birthdays. They're great for birthday parties if you want to hand out one to every single guest. So yeah, 50 to 100 is how many I want to have inside of my collection, and they will definitely go. Everyone likes them. They're a great card. I don't care if the kids play with them or get them damaged, because like I said, there are tens of thousands of copies of these birthday Pikachus. I don't think they're going to really climb in price anytime soon. There is an abundant amount of them. It's going to take years for all of these cards to just start disappearing from the market. But yeah, I would say if you're looking for some affordable cards, these are great. A lot of people know these cards. I mean, like, who doesn't know the classic Blastoise, Venusaur, and something like Birthday Pikachu? They're all really cool cards, super affordable. I would buy them to give out rather than buying them expecting them to go up in value. They may go up in value, but it's going to be a long time before that happens. Final question, we got You're Dead to Me asking, "Hey Jake, I recently invested around 40 Celebrations lunchbox tins to hold on to for my collection. They were going on sale for under retail, and considering these are one of the harder products to reprint, I thought it'd be a really good investment for the long run, saying 5 to 10 years. What are my thoughts?" Boy, dude, I think it's super gutsy of you to go online and say you purchased 40 sealed Celebrations lunchbox. If this was 6 months ago, you would have been roasted so hard for just like hoarding that amount of products when no one was able to find any. But yeah, the market's fully liquidated when it comes to Celebrations. Anyone that wants Celebrations products have probably been able to find some to open, and no one's like foaming at the mouth to open up Celebrations products anymore. So you're probably fine. And these were going for clearance, which means people did not really want them that much for it to actually go on sale. So what do I think about holding these long term? The lunchbox tins are neat. However, if you look at all of the Celebrations products, they're kind of like mid-tier at best, because there's things like the Ultra Premium Collection, which everyone wants from Celebrations. Then you got the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box that everyone wants as well. And then you have the Pikachu V Max figure collection. That's also really cool. There's all these Celebrations products that I think are even better than the lunchbox tin. So that's sort of an issue, that you have all these significantly better products that people are wanting. However, the lunchbox tin, if I did the math correctly, has the best value when it comes to packs. You get more packs from the lunchbox tin than any other Celebrations product. It has the maximum amount of pack value. So you have a ton of booster packs if you truly have 40 sealed lunchbox tin. I would say you'll do fine long-term holding these for 5 to 10 years. However, for me personally, I would say the amount of effort to hoard that amount of products long-term just isn't really worth it, because in 5 or 10 years, if these are worth like $100, it's still not really worth it for me to even sell them or anything of that sort. It's just like the amount of work is just too high for it to truly be worth it. And that's why I sort of tell people to move away from trying to just like hold on to these like big bulky products for so long and expecting them to like double in value. Even if they double in value in 5 years, it's still not really worth it to hold on to them for those past 5 years. Maybe in 10, 20 years, you really don't know, because perhaps Celebrations products, you know, completely empty out of store shelves in 2 years and everyone wants them in 5 years. That's completely possible. We just don't know. So best of luck to you, but man, that is definitely a gutsy move. All right, everybody, that's the end of today's video. I hope this gave you some useful insight and maybe some nice inspiration for your own personal collection. Just hearing what other collectors are currently doing in the hobby. I will definitely do a follow-up video, because there were just so many questions and some really cool ones that I definitely wanted to talk about that I just didn't have the chance to cover in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.